guys, and welcome back. Well, I tell you, keeping up with this Pastor Gray is like keeping up with Trump. Let's see. Now Pastor John Gray announced that he's brought in a number of seasoned mega church pastors to act as advisors to guide him as he leads Relentless Church. Now, the move comes amid a financially rocky first year and a half at Relentless Church that Gray hopes to steady with a move to a new, yes, you heard me, a new Greenville location in the new year. Now, Gray told the Relentless congregation during a Sunday service where he laid out the church 2020 vision that the pastor would work to help govern the church. Now, the pastors include Greg Surratt, the founding pastor of Charleston-based Seacoast Church, Dino Rizzo, the executive director of the Associate of Related Churches, of which Relentless is a member, and Chris Hodges, the founder and senior pastor of Alabama's Church of the Highlands. Yes. Now, Gray is an accomplished preacher who has spoken at some of America's largest churches, and he remains on staff as an associate pastor who preaches on Wednesday at the Lakewood Church in Houston, where Joel Osteen is the lead pastor. But Relentless is Gray's first ministry as a senior pastor, and he said he needs time to learn how to be a pastor, not just a preacher. Now, Gray said he's had the heart to pastor since he felt God's calling him to ministry at age 21, but he's had to learn the business side of running a church. Now, that's why he asked the senior pastors for guidance. Now, among them are men with successful churches, he said, and ministry behind them. And because we've been in personal relationships, I asked them to come in and officially oversee the church moving forward. Now, Gray and his wife, Aventer, I guess I said that right, Aventer, took over the church in Greenville and renamed it Relentless Church in the summer of last year. Now, when former Redemption Church pastor Ron and Hope Carpenter left to take a church in San Jose, California. Now, the church property is still owned by the Carpenters, and Relentless leases the building. Now, as you know, a couple of weeks ago, there were negotiations between the two churches. Relentless Church received a letter from attorneys representing Redemption Church that told Relentless to vacate the property by the end of the year, or else an eviction notice would be filed in court. Now, the letter said it was ending the church's verbal month-to-month lease agreement. Now, in response, if you remember, John Gray attorneys wrote a cease and cease letter back to them saying that there were no verbal lease agreements exist, but it has paid its rent on 2 written lease agreements on the property, and to make a long story short, he wasn't going anywhere. And now it seems like that has changed. Yes. He has they're going the first of the year to a new building, which Pastor Gray has not disclosed. He hasn't disclosed the location, none of that. He said he's going to wait to do that. Now, he says, I've learned from a very prominent pastor, church is church, and it's also business. And if I don't get a return on an investment from the person I've hired to do their job, then I need to assess if they need to be a part of the organization from this side. Now, earlier this year, Relentless laid off 17 staff members, and at the time said the church had inherited debt and payroll obligations. And also, that's when he asked the church to pay $250 each to get the roof fixed, because it was going to cost $250,000, and he said he had $400 on it. Now, after that, Gray declined to discuss the recent resignation of at least 2 staff members who went to the news, and one of those employees who ran the fitness center, it's called Image Center, it's a fitness center at Relentless. He spoke to the local news saying he resigned last week after he asked Gray a question, and what he said was a meeting that turned hostile. But like I said in some earlier videos, this man has faced a lot of controversy since arriving at Greenville. First, when he bought his wife, a Venter, a $200,000 Lamborghini. A Lamborghini Urus SUV that he later said was not paid for with the church funds. And later, when the church bought him a $1.8 million home, citing the need to purchase the home to attract a caliber of preachers like Gray. Then, as you know, in March, he asked the church to give the $250,000 needed to repair the roof. And, he spoke good at that time. He said that he think Relentless would be out of debt, and 1.5 years they would be debt free. Well, now they're moving out the church. I guess due to non-payment, as the carpenter said. And I don't believe he's got a new church. I think now he's calling in these big preachers. I think he may, a franchise may be going on. Like McDonald's, he's going to have to pay these pastors so much, and they're going to give so much for his new location. I don't know, but it's going to come out in the watch, just like all this other stuff I told you. All right, guys, what do you think? Press that comment button, and we'll talk about it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you will like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, important, be blessed, y'all.